1975, the movie Jaws was scaring people out of their socks and the water. Paul Simon was riding high with his Grammy-winning hits, Still Crazy after all these years. And baseball fans were watching the Cincinnati Reds start a 2-year total domination as world champions. This was the big red machine, they call it, the Cincinnati Reds, the dominant baseball team in the game. They were led by Pete Rose, Tony Perez, Dave Concepcion, and many others. The Reds were World Series champs in '75 and '76. But those glory years faded, and in recent years, the Reds have been dead, finishing last in 1983 and next to last in '84. This is the Cincinnati Reds spring training camp in Tampa, Florida, and there appears to be a new attitude, a new intensity in the 1985 Cincinnati Reds. The prime man responsible, of course, is Pete Rose.
I think he's going to be a great one. In fact, I compare him in his public relations as a manager with Casey Stengel, who I thought was by far the greatest salesman of baseball I've ever seen.
My philosophy in playing baseball is go out there, have fun, win, and you enjoy it.
I think we can improve a lot because Pete make everybody do better, and I really believe Pete will do a good job as a manager.
If a guy can only throw a ball 90 miles an hour, I don't expect him to throw it 95. I wish he could, but he can't. And I just try to get my players to understand what their capabilities are and to go out and do their capabilities on a consistent basis.
When you see a guy that's 44 years old work their hard, they make everybody do the same thing. And I think it's great to have a guy and a manager like Pete Rose, you know, give a different attitude to the whole club.
I like young players, David, because one, they're hungry, because they know what kind of money can be made in this game. Two, they haven't had time to develop any complacency. And three, they just want an opportunity to play baseball.
Some of the young players, they look back at it, and we sit around and, you analyze how many hits he got. 4,000 hits, that's a lot of hits. If you put us like 200 hits for 20 years, and it's not too many people that's going to, do that over a long period of time, and, you can't help but be impressed.
Everybody in the major league level has ability, and attitude is a lot more important than we give it credit for.
And I don't expect them all to run to first on a base on balls, but I expect them to give a good effort. I don't want them to cheat themselves, because if they cheat themselves, they're cheating the team. And if they're cheating the team, they're cheating their teammates. And that can be an empty feeling if it goes on too long.
The guy, he's bring winning everywhere that he goes. He's a very enthusiastic player, and it's reflected on the field and off the field. And I think it's not filtered down through this ball club.
We're nothing more than grown-ups playing a kid's game. I'm doing nothing different today than I did when I was 10 years old back in Cincinnati at Bullface Park playing baseball. The only difference, we're getting paid more, we have better uniforms, and we get guys like you interviewing us.
Well, the Reds practice is over for today, and with opening day just a little over 3.5 weeks away, most of the so-called experts really don't give Cincinnati much of a chance to be in the thick of things come September. But the Cincinnati Reds fans have hope. Why? Because after watching number 14 hustle down to first base for over 2 decades, they have learned one thing for sure, and that is never bet against Pete Rose.
Still crazy.
Get them, Pete, in Cincinnati. Tomorrow, spring training visit with Sparky Anderson and his world champion Detroit Tigers.